As pure genius and with all the style and class of a true champion, he's reached the day's semi-final. Will you welcome, please, the former Embassy World Champion and the Essex Exocet, Ronnie O'Sullivan. Ladies and gentlemen, his opponent, the greatest player in the game's history, has torn the record books apart, and the 7 times Embassy World Champion has once again reached the World Semi-Final. Will you welcome the brilliant Stephen Hendry?
Good afternoon, Hazel. Good afternoon, everyone. For a session that I believe Stephen Hendry needs to win 5-3 to get back in touch. Ronnie O'Sullivan is such a great front runner that I believe the further in front
ninth frame, Stephen Hendry to break.
he got, the more freely he would play.
Caught the safety, too thin. That's why the cue ball is coming in out of balk. First chance, Stephen Hendry.
One.
That was a lot better than it looked. Had to use a tracer side on that and judged it well. Good shot. This looks a bit pacey. Needs to slow down. Well, it has.
5.
Not perfect on this red, you just can't roll it in for the black.
Six.
Never nice from tight on the rail.
Six. Stephen Hendry.
Yes, as you say, Clive. You expect him to get them because he's so good when he's near the cushion. He's missed the pink. He's left a chance.
Make sure they're switched off. It's not worth losing your seat over, because you will be thrown out.
It's amazing, isn't it? It's announced. Our news brings everybody's attention to this mobile phone situation. And that's
One.
the second time already, and we've only been playing for about 3 minutes. 2 mobile phones have gone off.
We'll be splitting the reds. from this red.
8.
And O'Sullivan knew the general direction the cue ball would be going. And the pink was always near the baulk pocket, not quite as near as it is now.
Yes, in actual fact, Clive, he'd have probably preferred the pink to be where it was before he nudged it towards the pocket. Always a little bit more difficult to judge when they're in the jaws of the pocket. Thinking about playing it left-handed, but just can't reach. I mean, obviously the pot's no problem. It's all about pace and line for the shot for the next red. Pink spot obviously not available, so Laurie Annandale, as there being no other spots available, finding the closest place he can to the pink spot in a direct line with the middle of this top cushion. And in effect what it's doing is tying up at least 2 reds.
$15. $16. $20.
Just having a look if the black will go in the right corner. Obviously thinks it
21.
does. Doesn't look it from that shot we've got there, but there you can see it does go in. And I think the red nearest the pocket will also pot. But he's still got to judge this well. I don't suppose it'd be a problem. He's straightish on it. Screw back. 6 inches to a foot. Be nicely on the black for the opposite corner.
$29.
While Hendry would have started this session thinking need to win it 5-3 to get back into it, O'Sullivan would have been thinking another session this afternoon
36.
like the one last evening, and I'll be so far in front
37.
that it'll be virtually impossible to catch me.
Yes, Clive. We know how difficult this game is. I don't think I've seen Ronnie have one bad session. OK, it was run close by Stephen Maguire, Andy Hicks. But it seems every session he's come out and he's been cueing well, making big breaks. I think the real hope for Stephen Hendry is that
44.
Ronnie just drops his player fraction and gives Stephen a chance. Stephen's chances are coming few and far between. But can Ronnie keep up this standard, session after session?
I've never seen him more highly focused for so long.
45.
The angle he's got on the black here, he's going to have to cannon into this cluster. Probably cannon into the pink and release the reds. Always need a bit of luck when you cannon into other balls. That's okay. There's 46
52.
points in front now. There's a possible 75 left on the table.
$53.
It looks as if one mistake
58.
from Hendry, a failed pink to left middle from tight on the cushion, is going to cost him this frame. And throughout
59.
this championship, O'Sullivan has been playing virtually one chance snooker. One chance a frame. That's all he's been needing in most cases.
And all he needs here is the red
65.
to go 60 points in front with only 51 left on the table.
66.
It's a tough school, this. One miss and you're out.
$73. $74.
There's a possibility of O'Sullivan's 12th century of the championship, although it won't be easy, particularly as he's missed his position
81.
to take the near red down to the right corner.
81 on frame.
He's not bothered about that though. For his first chance, O'Sullivan makes 81 to increase his lead to 7-2.
Tenth frame. Ronnie O'Sullivan to break. Didn't really expect to pot that at that angle.
Well, we see this situation a lot, don't we, when we got balls in the balk end. Neither player can play safe in the balk end. And we've seen these situations go on for quite a while. You can't see that happening with these two players. I mean, it wouldn't surprise you if Stephen took this red onto the left centre. I'm not saying it's the right shot, but they're not going to mess around with safety. Potting balls is what they do best.
The only red he could have left was the one he attempted. But by striking the far jaw like that, he leaves a sitter.
Yes, and he'll go back to his seat now thinking what's going to be left when Ronnie's finished. And that's bound to come in your mind, just the standard that Ronnie keeps producing. I mean, on the face of it, you know, you think, well, he'd do well to get 50 points here.
O'Sullivan has been exploiting very heavily every clear chance, virtually, and many that have not been so clear. He thought previously about clearing the three reds which were already loose in the balk area, but he had a good angle on the blue, so straight into the bunch.
7.
And immediately, although there's a long way to go, there's a chance of winning the frame at a single scoring visit.
$14. 15.
Could open the pack a little bit more and still stay on a loose red.
That was the intention.
22.
But he didn't catch it right. And he's run a little bit out of position. Just went through those. He should have hit the red full in the face.
23.
Not quite the right side of the blue. Pink's an alternative. There's two reds in the balk end. I suppose if he plays the blue, he could play for one of those.
$28. 29. 32. 33. 38.
Hendry missed one tricky pot in the opening frame, and it cost him the frame. He's missed one even more difficult in this frame, and it could cost him arrears of 8-2.
39. 46. 47.
'It's just gone a little awkward
54.
for Ronnie. Slightly hampered here.
$55.
Good recovery, but not perfect on the black. But all shots come alike.
62.
Red and a blue. And
63.
Stephen Hendry will need a snooker. He took a chance there, Stephen, with that red in the middle. And I think he
68.
knew it was all or nothing. If you were
69.
looking at the way Ronnie's playing and trying to think of a way you could beat him, you'd say, OK, don't take any chances. Try and slow the pace of the game down. Knock him out of his rhythm. Stephen Hendry's not going to play like
76.
that. So that's not an option.
77.
Stephen's had a pink in the first frame, he just missed. Red in this one, he just missed. He's got to hope pretty soon they start going in.
84. 85. 92. 92. And frame.
It seems that O'Sullivan only needs one chance per frame. He made 92 from that one. He's gone 6 frames clear at 8-2.
The 11th frame, Stephen Hendry to break.
Hendry's break-off is a good length, and it's not the most attractive of angles on the pot red. But still, by playing at that sort of pace, O'Sullivan was able to swing the cue ball wide off the object ball to avoid the cannon.
Well, I don't know if he played the pot or he tried to just play the safety. He missed it by a long way. I think he was just trying to get the cue ball back to the baulk end. Whatever. He hasn't succeeded. You know, it was just too thin, and I think if he'd have hit it thicker, he'd have caught the cluster. Anyway. First chance to Ronnie. And that's all he
One.
needed in the first 2 frames of this session. He had 1 chance and won the frame. Incredible stuff. It really is.
When you see O'Sullivan play like this, you think, how is it that he's only won 1 tournament this season? O'Sullivan's pot success rate, 98% today.
9.
Yes, well, that's an interesting thing, isn't it, Clive? That he's been playing consistently better than anyone all season, has Ronnie. But he's only won 1 tournament. And I think that's the main reason that Ray Reardon got the phone call.
11.
Because he was playing well and wasn't winning enough. And at the end of the day, it's all about winning.
12.
And the tournament he did win, the Welsh Open, he nearly didn't, because he was 3 down with 4 to play to Steve Davis in the final.
Well, if he played for this red
19.
that's loose from the left edge into the far corner, I don't think he'll be playing it now. Not even Ronnie could risk that. So for the first time, that 1 chance, he's not going to be a frame winner. He's going to have to play safe.
Ronnie O'Sullivan.
There, up in the gods, is Ray Reardon on the right there, 6 times world champion in the 70s, including once here in 1978.
Wasn't a bad safety shot from Stephen, but he wasn't tight to the baulk cushion. Good reply from Ronnie. Well, that's an excellent shot from Stephen. And you just know with Stephen Hendry, he didn't win 7 world titles by being a quitter. He's going to battle this out. Okay, he might need Ronnie just to go off the boil a little bit. But as long as he's there when he does go off the boil to take advantage. The problem is, 1 good safety shot or 2 isn't usually enough for Ronnie. And that's a marvellous safety shot. And Stephen has got a big problem here.
The reds are open, black on its spot. 1 mistake here, it could be another frame gone west.
Yes, and it doesn't look as though it's one of those situations where you can just drop on a ball near the top cushion to try and get it safe. It's very difficult. That might be an alternative. I don't know whether he can see the angle, but he'd have to play it absolutely perfect. So tough, this. It was so tough. I think in the end, he tried to pod his way out of trouble. That wasn't an unforced error. That was caused by the superb safety shot from Ronnie. Stephen couldn't find a solution to the problem. And Ronnie's in.
One.
The only good news for Hendry, and it's not so very good with the pink available, is that his shot knocked the black from its spot.
Seven.
But the pink now on the black spot. O'Sullivan on a run of 218 unanswered points this afternoon.
Eight. 14. 15.
'Well, he's knocked the red off the pink spot.
21.
So it's gone a little bit wrong.
Twenty-two. 24. 25.
Purposely held the pink
31.
spot so he'd be on this red.
32.
This is quite incredible stuff, you know, Clive, because, as you say, when he came to the table, and we're trying to look for problems, but all these problems just seem to be so easily overcome. You know, he cleared the pink spot. I thought he's gone a bit awkward. He went up there, he potted the yellow. Next thing you know, he's got the pink back on the black spot, and now he's nicely on the red, and it's just amazing snooker. And the key to this, the key to all this,
39.
is the control of the cue ball. It's practically inch perfect all the time, and when he does run out of position, he recovers the situation
45.
immediately. And he just needs this red now. And that's another
46.
frame in the bag. Absolutely brilliant.
Tried to develop the red from the side cushion.
52. 52. Hand frame. Ronnie O'Sullivan.
So, 3 superlative frames from O'Sullivan He's now extended his lead to 9-2.
Frame 12, Ronnie O'Sullivan to break.
Ray Reardon on the right there, watching approvingly.
Not a bad safety shot from Stephen, but I'm afraid against Ronnie, you need that cue ball tight against the baulk cushion. He's left a chance of a pot here. And if Ronnie can't see a safety, you just get a feeling he's going to take it on.
One.
He can get through to the black. Before he potted the red to get on that black, 244 points had been scored against Stephen. He's been sat in that chair most this afternoon. Not surprising, he didn't play the best positional shot on that black. Needs to find his touch, and quick.
It wasn't easy
9.
off the thin edge to screw clear of the red to the left of the black, and using a bit of right of centre striking accelerated the cue ball from the two cushions, so this is more awkward than he would like it to be.
Nine, Stephen Hendry.
Understandable. When you've been sat in that chair most of the afternoon, and your opponent's been getting all the playing time. I mean, it's only a fraction out. Just needs a couple of easy shots to start a break, just to get some sort of momentum going. In goes the red.
One.
And that's why we say it's such a cruel game sometimes, snooker, because when the other man's at the table, there's nothing you can do. It's not like golf, you know, if they hit a ball, you hit a ball, tennis and things like that. Snooker, if the other man's occupying the table, you can only watch. That's why sometimes you've got to hope that your opponent suffers a slight dip in form. But it's not looking likely at the moment.
Nine.
O'Sullivan still in a cocoon of concentration. No sign of relaxing it.
It
may have shaken him a little to lose to Hendry in the British Open final in November. 9-6 from 5-3 up.
15.
And it may have shaken him even more to lose 10-9 to Paul Hunter in the Masters final in February from 7-2 up. Maybe
22.
Those two reverses have strengthened his resolve when he's in front to try to get
23.
ever further in front.
Just run slightly out of position. Haven't said that too many times this afternoon. Tricky red, this.
27.
As with everything, made to look easy.
Just hard enough. When O'Sullivan led Anthony Hamilton 5-0 in their quarter-final, Hamilton acknowledged to himself
31.
that he wasn't going to win. However hard, he continued to try. Another 2 or 3 frames from O'Sullivan, and even the great Hendry might have a similar thought.
$38. 39. 46.
What Hendry has so often done unto others has been done unto him.
47.
Yes, he doesn't look very happy, Stephen, of course, because he's a born winner. But he knows how good this standard of play is that Ronnie's doing. And he'll also know, OK, he had one chance in the first frame, one chance in the second, he had
53.
the first chance in this one. And he knows the way Ronnie's
54.
playing, that to stay with him, he's got to make the most of those chances. So he'll be philosophical about it. I think it's a while yet
59.
before he starts thinking he can't win this match.
60.
But he'll need strong strength of character to keep that belief. I agree with you, Clive, because the way Ronnie's playing and
67.
it's just a virtuoso performance.
68.
Mid-session interval after this frame.
75. 76.
We've had only 35 minutes play this afternoon.
82.
And in that
83.
35 minutes, O'Sullivan has proceeded from his overnight 6-2 to the certainty
90.
of a 10-2 lead.
92.
Yes, all we've been short of this afternoon so far is a century break. I think we're going to see one now. I think Ronnie will concentrate here. The cue ball
95.
control during this break has just been, well, something like I've not seen for a long, long time. And in these 4 frames,
99.
that cue ball is just on a piece of string. He knows exactly where it's going.
104.
His 12th century of the championship.
$110.
Chasing Hendry's 2002 record of 16.
117.
And with that clearance of 119, Ronnie O'Sullivan goes to the mid-session interval with a commanding 10-2 lead.
Thank you. Settle down. 13th frame. Stephen Hendry to break.
This is my Willie Thorne imitation.
Take that wig off.
We've all heard of the Last Chance Saloon, but this is the First Chance Saloon in the main, because usually one chance has been all O'Sullivan has needed to win a frame.
Steven up very quick there, just caught that red too full. Left the red to the left corner for Ronnie. And just the fact he just caught it a fraction too full, and he was up straight away because he knows any chance he leaves Ronnie, it spells danger. And on the face of it, he's got a bit of work to do with the cue ball here, after potting the red. But you wouldn't think so looking at that. He used all the pocket. It's as though he played it into half the pocket so he could retain position on the black. He's nearly making these balls talk, Clive.
What a language. Well, has he covered the black spot?
Yes, he tried to develop the black spot. He'd be disappointed if the black goes, and I think it does.
8.
He tried to move the red away from the black spot so the black could go on its spot available into both corners.
9.
So it's gone a little bit awkward. He's had all the answers so far.
$14.
If he gets the pink into play, pink will go on the black spot.
15.
Which is almost as good as having the black there.
$21. $22.
One to the far left corner,
28.
but he may be able to get through to one to the right centre. And if he can, he could pot that and play for the black in the opposite middle pocket.
28. Ronnie O'Sullivan.
He's missed one.
Make a note of that. That's the first pot that O'Sullivan has missed in live action this afternoon. Polished off the first frame from his first chance, 81 break. One chance in the next frame, 92. Ran out of position on 19 in the third. Played safe, won the frame with 52, and then first chance in the last frame, 117. Hendry has totalled 15 points in 4 frames. In the last 5 frames, including this one, O'Sullivan outscoring Hendry 389 to 15.
One.
Well, spotted the plant. No fluke about that. Yellow to right centre. angle to bring him back amongst the reds.
Three.
Not quite certain which red he's on. Maybe the two together, the bottom one of the two.
Four.
Struggled its way in.
Seven.
Meant to bring the cue ball past the blue. But there may still be a red on to right corner.
Yes, I'm right down the line of this. Maybe can just get past the black. There's not a lot of room. And it'll be a full stretch.
Eight.
Still not fully recovered the situation. Okay, blue into left centre, hampered by the black. And just can't roll the blue in and be on a red. Bit of work to do with the cue ball. This is tricky.
O'Sullivan, 8 frames in front, is not going to take on one shot too many. Even in the magical form he's displaying here this afternoon.
Yellow. Eight. Ronnie O'Sullivan.
A touch of ruthlessness, highly appropriate ruthlessness with that shot choice. If Hendry's going to get an opportunity, he's going to have to work for it.
Yeah, but that was an excellent shot from Stephen. A little tap on the table from Ronnie. Played to perfection. Is it a good enough safety to force Ronnie into a mistake? There's no pot on. I don't think there's a plant to the left corner. Ronnie had a look at the two reds together just to the right of the black as we look. But I don't think they're a plant. Be a good shot to get this back to balk.
Foul and a miss for Stephen Hendry.
Well, there's nothing on for Stephen. He'll certainly have it replaced. If there'd been a pot, I'm sure he'd have taken it on. And that's just because of the quality of the safety play. Tight under that baulk cushion. I don't care who you are, if you're Ronnie O'Sullivan, this is a tough shot, and he's got to catch this red so thin. And there you see, it forced a mistake. That's why safety has always been a very important part of snooker. There's two ways you can force your opponent, or two ways you can get in at the table. Good safety, force an error, or wait for your opponent to miss. And as Stephen Hendry has already found out this afternoon, if you're waiting for Ronnie O'Sullivan to miss when he's in, you'll be sat in your chair a long time. Chance for Stephen.
Oh dear. Straight pink to
Stephen
middle.
Hendry.
And the favourable run of the ball. And maybe come a bit late in the day. comes when he's 8 frames behind. But better late than never, I suppose, from Hendry's point of view.
Yes, but for all the Hendry supporters, him missing a straight pink in the right centre doesn't look good. Has Ronnie broken him a little bit? That's the barrage from Ronnie O'Sullivan affecting Stephen. Maybe that run the ball there for Stephen has just give him a reprieve to gather his thoughts and say, come on, what you doing? You shouldn't miss shots like that, no matter who you're playing.
Hendry has a chance to redeem himself.
One. Six.
Just at present,
7.
pride of performance has got to be Hendry's uppermost motive. If he wins a few frames, then he can start thinking about the possibility of pulling the match round, but that kick certainly wasn't any help.
No, it's going to take a good shot now to pot this black and get good position on the next red. He'll struggle to keep it going
14.
now. Only 17 points behind, so still in this frame. Got to keep battling. Got to stay on the premises just in case Ronnie starts to miss a few.
$14, Stephen Hendry.
O'Sullivan would be slightly disappointed. Didn't want to cannon the green.
One.
Great pot and found a lovely line. Unlucky not to be on a colour, but if he lays a good snooker here, it's going to be very difficult for Ronnie O'Sullivan to get this safe.
Green. One, Stephen Hendry.
Now if he plays it dead weight, he could get it safe by coming off the two cushions. But he's going down the other side, so he's playing the thin escape at pace. Needs to catch the red thin. Not thin enough. Made more mistakes in this frame, Ronnie, than he's probably done in the match.
One.
But you can imagine how difficult this is for Stephen. Just got to find a bit of self-belief from somewhere, I feel. He's having to dig very deep at the moment for every shot. He can't get position.
8.
He's not had a lot of table time. This is where his competitive instinct has got to take over and just pot ball for ball. And there you see the reason why. 2/3 of the table to Ronnie O'Sullivan table time. Just 1/3 to Stephen. When they were saying in the mid-session interval, Stephen went into the practice room to hit some balls just to keep his cue arm going. On the practice table, there isn't the threat of Ronnie O'Sullivan ready to come to the table if you miss.
16.
Points are all square. The big problem will be the yellow if he's going to win the frame at this visit.
Stephen Hendry.
Thinking so much about how he was going to cannon the pink that the easy red eluded him.
I just felt it, Clive, on every shot. He looked under pressure. And that's what happens when you get so far adrift in a match. And as I say, he's had no table time, and you just felt every ball he was potting was a struggle. But Stephen had the problem of the yellow to win the frame in one visit.
8.
So has Ronnie.
Nine. Fifteen.
At that angle, couldn't get the cue ball any further away from the cushion. Green and brown still needed. But it was a natural potting angle to finish on the brown, which helped.
24.
And that's the frame safe now, a frame where Ronnie made a few mistakes. And very worrying times
29.
now for Stephen Hendry and his supporters. He couldn't pick himself up for this frame when given the chances.
35. 42 in frame.
The scrappiest frame we've seen this afternoon, but it's gone the way of all the others. O'Sullivan now leads by 11 frames to 2.
14th frame. Ronnie O'Sullivan to break.
Well, I thought I did rather well with the voice.
Close. Long pot for Ronnie. Good accurate cueing required. Oh, he didn't play it. He didn't play it. Is this a bit of the Raiden factor coming in?
Ruthless or not.
I think I saw a little nod of approval there from the great man. Because he was the man, wasn't he, Ray? If he got someone on the ropes, he wouldn't let them off, would he?
No. Great competitor in his day.
One.
He won't be potting any from there.
Are you sure?
This frame and 2 more this afternoon, 8 tomorrow morning, and the way things are going, there might not be much of an evening session. Just in case anybody was in any doubt.
1. Ronnie O'Sullivan.
Always a purpose with Ronnie, isn't it? When he's walking around the table, stalking, wondering which is the shot to play, which is the best percentage shot. That time he decided on the pot. Thought the only red he could leave, if he played it correctly, was the one he was playing. But I think he's left a cut back into this right corner.
One.
And maybe just signs The last frame, Ronnie made quite a few mistakes and gave Stephen probably more chances than he's had in the rest of the match. And missed that pot. I'm not saying it was easy, but he missed the long pot, refused the
Four.
pot, trying to play safe, so maybe he has just taken his foot off the pedal a little bit.
5.
First to 17, remember. It's a long way for Stephen, I know. But every journey starts with one step, as they say.
$12. 13.
What can he do? But stick to his game, stick to his method. And hope
20.
for more help from the gods than he received there. Excellent
21.
cut. Keeps him going.
Yes, and there's no question of rolling up behind the ball colour. For Stephen, it's the brown or nothing. Not a bad angle though, it doesn't appear. But pressure on every shot.
$21. Stephen Hendry.
He's been kept in his chair for so long that his rhythm has gone, his continuity is gone.
And I think his positive thinking has gone as well. And that's the scoreboard doing that. You try to put it out of your mind, but you can't.
One.
Snooker's theatre of dreams.
7.
Every snooker player in his dreams
8.
sees himself winning here, but very few are capable of doing so. O'Sullivan did in 2001.
14. 15.
And the way he's going, I should be very surprised if he doesn't win it this year.
$21. $22.
The 77-year-old trophy, which was paid for originally out of the entry fees of the players for the first championship won by Joe Davis.
29. 30.
£6 10 shillings he received for winning the first championship. The winner of this year's championship will receive £250,000.
36. 37. 43.
Coming up to the difficult bit in this attempted frame-winning effort.
.44.
Tricky red along
50.
the top cushion. Nothing's bothered him so much so far. Stephen had a chance in this frame.
.51.
Played it with pace. One more red and a colour required.
58.
One more red and anything above the blue.
.58. Ronnie O'Sullivan.
Left-handed, I know, but O'Sullivan's so good with the left hand that none of us expected him to miss it.
Yeah, my mistake, he only needed the red. Can't say he took it lightly playing left-handed because we've seen him put... Well, he doesn't miss many with the left hand. Well, that's not put Ronnie in any trouble, that, has it? The idea is to make a good safety shot, leave cue ball and object ball as far away as you can. Well, I do believe that he could cut one of these along the top cushion, but he's playing the safety. If he's got the snooker, he's a bit lucky there, but I don't think he has. Because he didn't play to kiss the black. He played to run past the black. Well, this frame and the last one. Scrappy frames. It doesn't matter how they work out. Stephen needs to win them badly.
One.
The red was all that O'Sullivan needed to leave Hendry needing a snooker. Had the brown dropped, then Hendry would have been able to win with red, black and all the colours.
Four. Four. And frame. Ronnie O'Sullivan.
Two snookers needed. Hendry remains in his chair. O'Sullivan goes 10 frames in front, 12-2. And they say that if you play this game long enough, everything happens to you, and we must now consider the possibility that O'Sullivan will dispatch Hendry with a session to spare.
It certainly looks that way, Clive, doesn't it? There's just signs, particularly the last two frames, where I think that Stephen has just been broken. It's understandable. He can't see any weakness in Ronnie's game. Ronnie's potting, break building, his safety play. Everything has come together. And Stephen uncharacteristically missing those easy shots. And it's understandable. I suppose it's like playing in a golf championship and you come to the last 4 holes and you look at the scoreboard and somebody's 10 shots in front of you. You know, it's very hard to convince yourself you're still in the match with a chance.
And O'Sullivan showing absolutely no sign of relaxing the pressure.
Thank you. 15th frame. Stephen Hendry to break.
Bungled break-off shot, adding to his troubles.
Beautifully played. Now we've had the hundreds, we've had the exquisite break building. Is there a time to think about a maximum? We've had just about everything else.
8. 9.
Cue ball would have been further out from the cushion, but for the kick.
$16. 17.
Just considering how to pot his next red and bring a few more reds out.
Yes, and I would suggest if he gets on the black off this
24.
red, he'll go for the maximum.
25.
Well, they hardly moved, did they? There's maybe one loose one. He could probably play for the same pocket as the black. Struck it well. It's highly unlikely now in my mind that Ronnie will think of
32.
anything else but red-black.
33. $40. $41.
And now into the bunch. Are they going to split favourably?
Well, he's knocked a few out, but he's going to have to play a good shot
48.
if he's going to get back on the black. He's playing for the pink.
49.
He could still get a 146, of course, which would supersede Joe Perry's 145, which at the moment is the highest break.
55. 56.
£17,600 is the highest break prize.
63.
And Ronnie will be aware, well, every time just before they're introduced, it's announced what the highest break of the tournament is. Oh, he got a kick. He got a kick.
63. Ronnie O'Sullivan.
Well, if we can say bad luck for somebody who's 10 frames in front, that certainly was it. Unexpectedly then, O'Sullivan breaks down before he secured the frame.
It was a tough shot. I don't know if this red will pass the yellow. Well, maybe this red does pass the yellow. It's a tough shot, of course, cue ball being so close to the side cushion. Well, there you go. Does go. Ooh, never touched the side.
1.
You try that. Put the cue ball tight on the cushion. Cued it beautifully.
One, Ronnie O'Sullivan.
Cuts along the rail, never a formality. But he missed his position as well because he overcut it. O'Sullivan within a red and colour of leading 13-2. But he's still going to play the right shot, no matter what the score is, no matter how far he's in front.
Needs to miss the yellow. Didn't. But he may just have flicked by it, so he's not left the red to the right corner. Well, he has, hasn't he? The straight red. Well, Ronnie's spotted one below the pink, which he feels is a shot for nothing, so he can pot this as well. Doesn't miss much, does he?
1.
Well, if he's straight on the brown, he'll have a job getting the cue ball back to this end of the table. Will he play the pot? He did. I mean, if you're only going to leave the cue ball there, most people would have played the snooker.
5.
But 67 in front, 67 remaining, he's thinking, well, I've only got to pull out one good pot and the frame's mine. So Stephen
5,
Hendry
Ronnie O'Sullivan.
can still tie this frame. A big ask, but he can.
Needed to hit the Red
4,
just off straight,
Ronnie O'Sullivan.
but hit it just off straight the wrong side. I don't think Hendry's got much more to give.
Yes, he's had some tremendous moments here at the Crucible Theatre. Of course, Embassy
1.
World Champion 7 times, beaten finalist twice, and never beaten far. He won't be enjoying this. He's not that type of person.
6. Six and frame, Ronnie O'Sullivan.
Hendry concedes. O'Sullivan leads by 13 frames to 2.
Thank you. Final frame of this session, Ronnie O'Sullivan to break.
Hendry has totalled only 72 points in the 7 frames we've seen this afternoon.
One.
Hasn't
3.
come out well though.
Three, Ronnie O'Sullivan. Foul. 4, Ronnie O'Sullivan.
It was very tricky, and because he caught his initial red too thin, he caught another one flicking off in the corner. But again, nothing left for O'Sullivan. I say again because the balls didn't split favourably from O'Sullivan's pack opener at his last visit.
Well, that was nice to see. A little tap on the table there from Stephen, saying well done for Ronnie playing that safety shot. And as they were saying at the mid-session interval, Clive, Stephen's done this to plenty of other players, and he won't want anyone to feel sorry for him there in this position. It's just on the date. That's what sport's about.
And it's also a mark of character how you take a trouncing. And he's taking it with dignity. Indeed, it's very pleasing to see this match played without any of the personal acrimony that there was for their semi-final here 2 years ago. Ah, well.
One.
A fluke.
One, Stephen Hendry.
You've got to be careful here. If he just coming off the one cushion rests into the side of the cluster, he doesn't leave one to the right centre. It's the only way it could go wrong. Has he?
O'Sullivan is concentrating as intensely as if the score was 8-all.
Yeah, if you could, there's obviously lots of ingredients as to why Ronnie's played like this in this year's championship. I think he just loves being out there. He knows he's playing well and he's enjoying every minute of it and every aspect of the game. Just reached the baulk line with that safety shot, left a long shot on for Stephen. Nice kiss on the brown. I'm sure this packed audience would love Stephen to win a frame. He's given his supporters, and he's got plenty in this arena, he's given them nothing to shout about. They'll give him a cheer if he can pull this one out of the bag, this frame.
5.
If it's only just to let him know that they're still there. It's a lonely place out there when you get entranced.
6.
A few of us had it a few times. Stephen's not that used to it, particularly here.
Still on the red. May have hoped to have developed 2 reds and black just a little more. But he may be able to put this and screw behind the black.
$13.
The last frame he won was the 8th frame, the last of the first session of this match. It's been a long wait, but he's got a chance here.
21.
Won't take anything for granted, of course, and particularly not now he's hampered. This is a tricky pink at the best of times.
$21. Stephen Hendry.
And this is not the best of times for Hendry at the Crucible. It's one of the worst of times. Perhaps ranking alongside his first round defeat on the first day here in 2000 by Stuart Bingham, a qualifier.
1. Six. Seven.
Well, he's looking at potting the blue and maybe cannoning into the 2 reds, just below where the pink would be, and maybe one of those reds will release the black. Well, in the end, decided against it. If Ronnie
12.
O'Sullivan had played the cannon on those 2 reds the way he's playing, he'd have got it.
13.
Failed to develop the 2 reds by the black.
18. 18, Ronnie O'Sullivan.
Yes, well thought out safety. Of course, if he wins this frame, he'll have won all 8 frames in this afternoon session. And he looks determined now, as he has done all afternoon, Clive.
I think he's just in the zone. He just wants to play perfectly. He wants to play the right shot each time, and he wants to execute it perfectly. Whether it's break building or safety. What would have been a perfectly acceptable safety isn't, because the red came off the side cushion and cannoned a safe red over the pocket.
One.
In the first 4 frames this afternoon, we saw sheer brilliance.
8.
In the remaining frames, we've seen ruthless efficiency.
Nine.
Well, he's looking to disturb the 3 reds together, so he must have the perfect. Oh, he has. Look at that. Inch perfect. And that's the way it's been. Okay, he's just overrun the red towards the side cushion, but that is the way it's been
16.
most of the afternoon. When he's been in making a break, his cue ball control has been exemplary. And that's the key to snooker at this level. Control of the cue ball. You can teach people to pot, you can teach people cue actions. Thank goodness for gravity.
17.
Oh,
24.
I'd not be able to pot this.
No, I don't think he can. Try to knock it on into a possible position. 27 points in front. Still 51 left on the table. Has he left a plant?
24.
Has he left
Ronnie
a plant?
O'Sullivan.
I think he may have done. Looks very close, doesn't it? Oh, that's a plant. The only way you could miss is if you hit it too hard.
One.
Well, there's a black past the red. It does. Wouldn't think so, would you? Good shot, Stephen.
Eight. Nine.
Hendry may yet avoid the indignity of a session whitewash.
And it may depend on this red along the top cushion. We've seen Ronnie
16.
O'Sullivan this afternoon knock these in as though they were over the pocket. He's had a bit more table time than Stephen. Well played.
17.
And perfect angle on the black. 10 points behind at the moment. Ooh, he's not got good on the yellow. 3
24.
points behind. He needs one good shot here. Pot the yellow, position on green. He's potted the yellow. That's
26.
perfect.
$29.
Just blue and pink
33.
to get a frame on the scoreboard.
$38.
The consolation prize for Hendry. He wins the last frame of the afternoon. But Ronnie O'Sullivan, with a superb display, had won the other 7. O'Sullivan leads 13-3 overnight.